Welcome to Phonoling English. In this lecture, I'll discuss difficulties faced in pronunciation by foreign learners of English. In this presentation, we will explore the major pronunciation problems learners face when learning English. We will also look at simple examples to understand these difficulties clearly. Finally, we will discuss some useful solutions that can help learners improve their pronunciation. First, let me start with discussing why pronunciation is difficult. English pronunciation is difficult for many foreign learners. One reason is that the English sound system is complex. Another reason is that the spelling of English words often does not match their pronunciation. Learners are also influenced by their mother tongue. In addition, many learners lack phonological awareness, which makes pronunciation more challenging. Pronunciation difficulties can be divided into two main categories. The first category is segmental difficulties. These are problems with individual consonant and vowel sounds. The second category is suprasegmental difficulties. These involve stress, rhythm, linking, and intonation in connected speech. Both types are important for accurate and natural pronunciation. First, I'll discuss segmental difficulties in pronunciation. 1. 44 sounds and 26 letters. English has 26 alphabet letters, but it contains about 44 different sounds which are called phonemes. Because of this difference, one letter can represent several sounds. For example, the letter A has different pronunciations in the words cat, father, and cake. This difference between spelling and sound often creates confusion for learners. 2. Difference between mother tongue sounds and English sounds. Another difficulty arises because some English sounds do not exist in many other languages. For example, the TH sounds in the words think and this are unfamiliar to many learners. As a result, learners may pronounce think as tink and this as dis. This happens because learners replace unfamiliar sounds with sounds that are easier for them. 3. Mother tongue interference. Mother tongue interference is another common problem. This occurs when learners apply the pronunciation patterns of their native language while speaking English. For example, some learners confuse the sounds V and W. As a result, the word very may be pronounced as wary, and wine may be pronounced as vine. 4. Place of articulation. The place of articulation refers to the location in the mouth where a sound is produced. Different sounds require different positions of the tongue, lips, or teeth. For example, the TH sound in the word think requires the tongue to be placed between the teeth. Many learners find this position unusual and therefore pronounce the sound incorrectly. 5. Manner of articulation. The manner of articulation refers to how air flows through the mouth when producing a sound. For example, the sound P is a plosive sound. The airflow stops briefly and then releases. The sound F, on the other hand, is a fricative sound. The air flows continuously through a narrow opening. Because of this difference, learners sometimes pronounce fan as pan. 6. Difficulty with English vowel sounds. English has many vowel sounds, including long and short vowels. Foreign learners often find it difficult to distinguish between these sounds. For example, the words ship and sheep have different vowel sounds. However, learners sometimes pronounce them the same way, which can change the meaning of the word. Now I'll discuss the suprasegmental difficulties in English pronunciation. 1. Word stress. Word stress is another important feature of English pronunciation. In words with several syllables, one syllable receives more emphasis than the others. For example, consider the words photograph, photographer, and photographic. In each word, the stressed syllable changes. Learners often place stress incorrectly, which may make their speech difficult to understand. 2. Sentence stress. Sentence stress refers to the emphasis placed on important words in a sentence. In English, content words such as nouns, verbs, and adjectives usually receive stress. Function words such as articles and prepositions are usually weak. For example, in the sentence, I bought a new car yesterday. The word car receives the main stress. 3. Assimilation. Assimilation occurs when one sound changes because of the influence of a neighboring sound. This usually happens in fast or natural speech. For example, the phrase good boy is often pronounced as gub boy. This change makes speech smoother and easier to produce. 4. Elision. Elision refers to the omission or dropping of a sound in connected speech. This also happens in natural conversation. For example, the phrase next day is often pronounced as next day, where the T sound disappears. Learners sometimes pronounce every sound carefully, which can make their speech sound unnatural. 5. Linking. Linking occurs when the final sound of one word connects with the first sound of the next word. This creates smooth and continuous speech. For example, the phrase pick it up is often pronounced as pick it up. Foreign learners often pause between words instead of linking them. 6. Weak forms. In English, many grammatical words have both strong forms and weak forms. In natural speech, the weak form is usually used. For example, the word for has a strong pronunciation for, but in normal speech it is often pronounced as f. In the sentence, I bought this for you, the weak form is usually used. 7. Intonation. Intonation refers to the rise and fall of the voice during speech. It helps express meaning, attitude, and emotion. For example, statements usually have a falling tone, while yes or no questions often have a rising tone. Compare the sentences, she is coming and is she coming? The difference in tone helps the listener understand the intention of the speaker. Solutions. Pronunciation difficulties can be reduced with proper learning strategies. First, learners should develop phonological awareness. Second, they should learn about place and manner of articulation. Third, learners should practice listening to native speakers and repeating their pronunciation. Regular practice and familiarity with the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA, can greatly improve pronunciation skills. Conclusion. In conclusion, foreign learners often face pronunciation problems because the English sound system is complex. These difficulties occur at both the segmental level and the suprasegmental level. However, with awareness, knowledge, and consistent practice, learners can improve their pronunciation and communicate more effectively in English. Thank you for watching this lecture.